The Map by Ruba Qewar. Chapter 6: The Dangers of Christian Evangelism. Taking advantage of people. It is very important for you as the reader to know the main purpose of writing a book like this. The main goal is to warn people, whether they are Muslims or Christians, about the deceptive and morally wrong actions of the Christian missionaries. They take advantage and use the people. First, using the Christian converts. The Christian agencies market these converts like products in order to make more profit. The more these converts attack Islam, the more money the agencies gain from their supporters. The more dramatic the story is, the more donations they get. Once the Christian agencies hear that there is a convert, most of the Christian TV stations try to contact him in order to testify his faith live. They may not bring him out immediately. They may wait until they can make them feel safe and be able to stand in front of the screen and evangelize others by saying their testimony. If the new Christian does not witness his faith, then they believe that he will be ashamed before the angels on the day of judgment. Because it says in Mark chapter 8, verse 38, "For whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man will also be ashamed of him when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels." Second, taking advantage of the Christians by stirring sectarian sedition problems have increased between Christians and Muslims recently. The Arab Christians are complaining to the Western countries that they are persecuted, many of whom have immigrated to the West. In the shadows of the Arabian Spring Revolution in Egypt, many Christians, not all, are loyal to the old regime system because they think that the government will protect them from Islamic law. They think that if Islamic Sharia law was applied, then the Muslim rulers will not give them their rights. Of course, this is a misconception. I can say that there are few of these Christians who feel a great hatred towards the Muslims because they feel they are minorities. It is normal for the minority to see themselves as a persecuted individual in society. They may be an outstanding figure in the society. For example, the rate of poverty among the Christians in the Islamic countries is much lower than the Muslims. Although Christians are considered the minorities, these Christians utilize their feelings of inferiority to surpass over the Muslim people. There are very few of them who would blame the majority for their failure in life. We can deny the misfortunes that are happening in the Islamic countries, such as the attacks on religious establishments, including mosques and churches. We can deny that when sectarian sedition happens, that both sides are affected. However, before we start blaming the other party, we should blame ourselves first. Was the way of dealing with the situation correct in the first place? Third, taking the members of the other churches. The evangelical churches will steal the members of the Orthodox and Catholic churches. Evangelical churches are not stagnant in their tradition like the Eastern churches. You find that many people are attracted to these type of churches. This is like a winning ticket for the Christian missionaries to report to their managers that they have more converts in their church, although these converts were Christians gained from just another church. Landmarkism. When a Christian organization is established in an Islamic country, they name all their schools and centers with the name of the organization. For example, Catholic Charities, Caritas, Lutheran School, etc. So if there is no evangelical aims in the Muslim country by these organizations, why would they call their charity centers and schools with the Christian names? Some may object and say, well, Muslims in the Western countries do the same thing. They have their own Islamic organizations and have the right to build their Islamic centers, mosques, and schools. They also call for Islam freely in public places and special events. Why don't Christians have the right to do the same in the Islamic countries? The answer: the Muslim who lives in the Western country praises Allah for this mercy and blessings that He has, which is the freedom of religion and speech. However, the one who objects does not know that all the income and expenses of the Islamic organizations are strictly monitored by the federal government and intelligence. Also, racism is alive and well in the societies against the Muslim community in the West. If a Muslim wanted to invite people to Islam in public by doing da'wah, then he must be a member of an Islamic organization and get permission from the right department within the government. Now, my question: are the churches in Arab countries monitored like that? Does anyone know what really happens in the church or the monastery? Does anyone know the amount of the money spent? And where is it spent? Muslim governments have no information about such things because the Muslim organizations trust and respect the Christian organizations under the roof of the government of the country. If charitable organizations are only taking care of the needy and follow the rules of human rights and religious freedom, then why are they calling them by Christian names? This is landmarkism. The Christian organizations leave their fingerprint in the Islamic country by building schools, hospitals, health centers, educational centers, orphanage, etc., in the name of that Christian organization. The existence of Arab churches have been known to exist for at least 6 decades in Islamic countries such as the Baptist, Nazareth, Brethren, Pentecostal, the Church of Christ, Episcopal, Lutheran Church, Catholic, etc. They are native churches with deep roots in the society now. Their pastors and servants are Christian civilians and citizens. We cannot just uproot them and throw them away, in spite of the fact they are from Western origins. We still have to respect them like the Eastern Christians and not accuse them of being collaborators.